Hey, what's up, everybody? So, coming to you this morning with the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones announcement. I want to give my opinion on this fight being announced and what it means for boxing and all that. I was very surprised, when the Tyson rumor started a while back, about a month or so ago, when they were showing the videos of him training and all that good stuff. And, I was just, I didn't really take it too serious. I mean, dude's 54 years old. And then when they started saying he's legitimately going to come back and fight, and they were talking about Evander Holyfield and different things like that, and then they go out and they announce for September 12th that these two guys were going to collide. I mean, I took from that more, damn, that means Canelo's probably for sure not fighting September 12th, which he still may not fight now that they done changed the date anyways. But, now the fight's got pushed back to November 28th between Tyson and Roy Jones. That's a good thing, I guess. Gives them more time to prepare. My overall thought on the fight is, I look at it like if these guys want to go take that risk, then that's on them. I mean, you can't really knock the guys for trying to make some money, trying to get, I don't know if it's so much for the fans. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of people interested, especially that fair-weathered fan. They're going to want to see these two old, former greats going at it. What does this fight mean for boxing? I mean, I guess the big question, what does it mean for boxing? I mean, a lot and a little. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. A little in terms of how it's going to impact. I don't really think. Let me put it this way: I don't really think the winner is gonna make a serious play at any of the champions right now in the heavyweight division. I mean, I don't know if Tyson could beat some of these giants in his prime. He would have a better chance, obviously. But now, I mean, Jesus Christ, it would be, just unthinkable for me that these two guys could fight. That they could compete against the top tier fighters in their weight classes. But, does it help boxing? Yeah, I mean, I guess it does. It makes everybody watch it again. But at the same time, are they going to tune in again to watch Tyson or Roy Jones unless they fight somebody on a big name level like themselves? I don't know how much it helps the current boxers is what I'm trying to say. Maybe overall it helps the sport, keeps the sport alive, make sure everybody knows that boxing is still around, but it doesn't really help the current fighters that are trying to establish themselves, because people are just going to watch Mike Tyson or Roy Jones. They're not really going to watch anybody else, have any more interest in anybody else. But maybe they will. So it's kind of hard to tell. I really can't tell you who has the edge. I mean, if I were to guess, I'd say Mike Tyson does, just based off of body size. Tyson is a natural heavyweight, but Roy Jones never was. So from that aspect, Tyson would be the favorite, I guess. But, who do I think outside of that? You just can't call that one. I mean, Tyson, it's been 14 years since he fought, I think they said. I don't even know. It might even be less than that, might be more, but I want to say they said 2006. Roy Jones, been less time, but towards the end, I mean, he was getting demolished fighting at cruiserweight. Last fight I remember him in, I think he did have a couple other fights a few years back just to get wins under his belt, but the last significant opponent I remember was Danny Green, and Danny Green destroyed him in one round. So, neither one of these guys' skill level is on point, but they're throwing whatever they got against each other. So, is it interesting? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna order this fight. I probably won't. If they stack up the undercard, maybe I will. That would be good. But, you know, it'd be good to get other guys' attention, too. I mean, I liken this to Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, but even that fight was more interesting than this one because Floyd is, you know, closer to still his dominance over the sport, and Conor McGregor is a popular guy on the level, on the weight of Floyd Mayweather, even though skill-wise and being used to boxing wasn't his forte. But they stacked up the undercard, you know, made that one good. I didn't order that one, but I ended up watching, you know, on Facebook, somebody was streaming it. But, yeah, you know, I mean, Tyson, Roy Jones, would I watch it? If it's a good undercard, yeah. If it's not, then no. I mean, I won't be buying that fight. I have no interest in watching two older fighters with no significance go at it. I'll probably just watch highlights or something. But these are two fighters that I love. I have a very deep passion for both these guys historically. You know, and as a fan, I mean, Mike Tyson is the reason I am into boxing. You know, plain and simple. I grew up in the Tyson era. You know, I was 5 when he won the world championship, and Tyson was just a mainstay name. Everybody knew him, even at a young age like that. And I just watched his whole, you know, rise and collapse. And, you know, he's always been a mainstay name, which is why now people are even interested in this fight and his comeback. So we'll see. You know, we'll see how that transpires and if he can look good and get a win and all that good stuff. But yeah, I always loved Mike Tyson. Very disappointed at the way his career ended and all the problems that he had. But I love the turnaround and change that he's made in his life. You know, to better himself, and you know, he's still one of the best heavyweights of all time. You know, that being said, yeah, definitely the favorite going in. Now, the underdog going in, Roy Jones Jr. Maybe the most talented fighter I've ever seen. That's arguable. You know, because of course, there's Manny Pacquiao, there's Floyd Mayweather, there's Vasily Lomachenko now, who I love. But Roy Jones, I mean, Jesus Christ, the way he took over light heavyweight was insane. I mean, the guy was fucking unbeatable. I mean, he really was. There was not a guy that could touch Roy Jones. And, you know, I really have to say, Antonio Tarver, you know, it was ego that got the fight with Tarver for Roy Jones. Roy Jones had won the heavyweight title. The original plan was Roy Jones was going to stay at heavyweight for at least one more fight. And Antonio Tarver doing what he did at the press conference, calling Roy out and embarrassing Roy and taking Roy's moment away after Roy had won the heavyweight title in 2003 is really what made Roy fight Tarver. And he dropped all that weight to fight him. Edged him out the first time, very close fight. But that led to Roy's downfall because he decided to rematch Tarver. And he got knocked out. And then after that, he got knocked out again. And then was never, you know, he was never a serious player anymore. But I seriously used to love watching Roy Jones fight. I mean, he's so talented. He was so talented and elusive, defensive. I mean, this guy just had it all. He had the power too. He wasn't like Floyd Mayweather in my book, to where he just went in there trying to survive, you know, and play enough defense and land enough, you know, pot shots to win a fight. I mean, Roy Jones went in there and dominated his opponents if it went 12 rounds. And for the most part, Roy could knock a guy out if he wanted to. I mean, I remember his, maybe my favorite story of Roy Jones was his first career loss to Montel Griffin. It was a 10-round fight. Roy was winning, clearly, and he knocked Griffin down and hit him while he was down. The referee disqualified Roy. What a way to lose your first fight. Instead of taking points away, they disqualified him. And Montel Griffin became the light heavyweight champion with that win. But knowing that he was about to get knocked out and he had lost the fight, he starts walking around talking shit, saying how he's going to beat Roy in a rematch and, you know, talking so much shit. And Roy went in there and in one round knocked Montel Griffin out in the rematch. It was just like he could do what he wanted when he wanted. Roy Jones. That's how good he was. You know, when he moved up and beat John Ruiz at heavyweight in 2003, it was fucking awesome, you know. Just stayed away. I didn't think he stood a chance against John Ruiz because Ruiz was just so much bigger. But Roy went in there, did his thing, got the win. Big time thing right there. So, yeah, you know, love both these guys. Love Tyson, love Roy Jones. And, you know, it's an interesting fight for boxing. I can't say I'm super excited about it, but it's definitely an interesting fight, and we'll see what goes down. But all right, guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, November 28th, Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., heavyweight contest. We'll see what happens. Again, hope you guys enjoyed the preview or the whatever you want to call it. True Boxing. You've been here with the truth.